Legends from the Pacific speak of a place that time forgot, an uncharted island where dinosaurs somehow escaped extinction. But is that just a myth? For decades, the story was written off as sailors' tall tales and fantasy. But recent discoveries have hinted at something that might be even more shocking. What if the legend isn't really about what's on the island, but about the island itself? What if the biggest secret isn't a lost world of living dinosaurs, but the ghost of a drowned continent hiding just beneath the waves? A place with a history more violent and epic than any legend. Before we get into one of the ocean's greatest secrets, make sure you subscribe and join our community of explorers as we uncover the truth behind our world's greatest mysteries. For over a century, the huge empty expanse of the South Pacific has been the perfect blank spot on the map for our imaginations to run wild. It's here, in the thousands of miles of open ocean between the Solomon Islands and French Polynesia, that the legend of a surviving prehistoric world really took hold. The stories are whispered in port towns, passed down from sailors who swear they've seen things that just don't belong in our time. They talk about strange silhouettes on the horizon, islands that appear and then vanish, and unexplained roars carrying across the water on still nights. These tales fueled the imaginations of early 20th century adventure writers. They cooked up fantasies like Thunder Island, a volcanic crater near New Zealand where heroes fought allosaurs and pterodactyls. Conveniently, these islands were often destroyed by a volcanic eruption on the final page, wiping away all the evidence. But then the line between fiction and supposed fact started to get blurry. Cryptozoologists, people who investigate unknown animals, headed to the region, chasing down local stories. On islands around Papua New Guinea, they documented accounts of the ropen, a creature described as a huge leathery winged flyer with a long tail and a jagged crest. Eyewitnesses claimed it had a terrifying wingspan and even gave off a weird bioluminescent glow while hunting at night. To the hopeful, this wasn't a bird or a bat, it was a living pterosaur. More accounts popped up of other strange creatures, like the Kai-Munu, a large two-legged beast supposedly seen on the remote islands of West New Britain. Now, no physical evidence, not a single bone, photo, or footprint has ever been found. But these stories have been enough to keep the legend alive. The idea is just so tempting. In a world we've mapped so thoroughly, could a little pocket of prehistory have survived, hidden by the immense blue wilderness of the Pacific? Could an island, shielded by storms and deadly reefs, still be home to the last dinosaurs? It seems like an impossible question. And to find the real answer, we need to stop looking for monsters and start looking for the island itself. The search for a lost world doesn't begin with biology, it begins with geology. Our journey takes us to a place most people have never heard of, the Melanesian Border Plateau. It's east of the Solomon Islands, and it is a colossal feature on the ocean floor. This isn't an island you can find on a map because it's a ghost, a drowned world larger than the state of Idaho. Its mountains and plains are submerged hundreds, sometimes thousands of feet beneath the surface. Geologists call this an oceanic midplate superstructure. Don't think of it as just one island, but more like a sprawling underwater continent. It's a geological graveyard of dead reefs and failed islands that tells a story millions of years in the making. For years, how it got there was a total mystery. Scientists knew it was volcanic, but its incredible size and complexity were just baffling. It didn't seem to be formed by one single, massive event, like other volcanic provinces that have been linked to climate shifts and mass extinctions. This was something different. In 2013, a 5-week research mission set out to finally solve the puzzle. Scientists dredged up rock from the slopes of the underwater mountains and volcanoes that make up this plateau. And what they found wasn't the story of one island, but an epic saga of creation and destruction that unfolded over 120 million years. Picture a piece of the Earth's crust, the Pacific Plate, drifting slowly across the planet. Underneath it, in the fiery mantle, are fixed blowtorches of superheated rock we call hotspots. As the plate crawls over these hotspots, magma punches through, building massive volcanoes. That's the story of the Melanesian Border Plateau. It's not one island, but a layer cake of volcanic activity, piled one on top of the other, starting way back when dinosaurs actually did rule the Earth. The rocks hauled up from the deep tell a dramatic story about the life and death of this plateau. A story that starts during the Cretaceous period, the final chapter for the dinosaurs. Part 1. The Foundation. Around 120 million years ago, a massive plume of magma called the Louisville Hotspot began to erupt. This was a colossal flood of lava that created the plateau's first foundations, a feature now called Robbie Ridge. At this point, it was probably just a vast undersea platform, not yet breaking the surface. The age of dinosaurs was in full swing. While T-Rex and Triceratops were roaming the continents, this future ghost continent was being born in fire, deep beneath the waves. Part 2. The Rise. Tens of millions of years went by. The dinosaurs disappeared, mammals began to take over, and the Pacific Plate just kept on drifting. Around 45 to 56 million years ago, the plateau passed over a second volcanic blowtorch, the Rurutu-Arago hotspot. This new surge of volcanic power was strong enough to finally break the surface. For the first time, islands were born, rising from the sea. For a short time, a lost world really did exist, a chain of new, isolated islands where life could have taken hold and evolved in completely unique ways. Part 3. The Rebirth and Slow Death. But the ocean gives, and the ocean takes away. As the tectonic plate moved on, the islands were cut off from their volcanic source and started to sink. Wind and waves wore them down until they submerged back into the deep, becoming flat-topped underwater mountains called gyos. But the story wasn't over. Around 13 to 20 million years ago, the plateau drifted over yet another furnace, the Samoa hotspot, the very same one that's still building the Samoan Islands today. Magma surged up through the old, weak spots, and a whole new generation of islands was born, reanimating the corpses of the old ones. Once again, land rose from the sea. And once again, as the plate moved on, it all began to sink. Part 4. The end is now. The final part of the story is happening right now. For the last 3 million years, a totally new force has been at play. The Pacific Plate is being dragged down into the Tonga Trench, one of the deepest points on the entire planet. This colossal movement is bending and cracking the plateau's crust, triggering new, ongoing volcanic eruptions. The Melanesian Border Plateau isn't some dead relic. It's a superstructure that is still growing and changing today. a place of immense geological power. So, what does this have to do with those old legends? The answer is memory. Not our memory, but the Earth's. The plateau's history is a cycle of islands rising and falling. It's entirely possible that ancient people, migrating across the Pacific thousands of years ago, actually saw the final stages of this process. They might have found islands that were there one day and gone the next, or lands that were slowly being swallowed by the sea. The stories of a lost island might not be a myth at all, but a garbled memory of a real geographic tragedy passed down for generations. The search for dinosaurs led us somewhere completely unexpected, not to a living creature, but to the ghost of a continent. It's a powerful reminder that our planet's history is written in stone, deep beneath the waves. If you think these journeys into the unknown are as fascinating as we do, hit that like button and tell us in the comments what mystery we should investigate next. So, are dinosaurs still roaming a hidden Pacific island? The scientific answer is almost certainly no. The legends of the Ropen and other cryptids are most likely misidentifications, folklore, or simply hoaxes. The creatures that are incredible survivors, like the lamprey which has made it through 4 mass extinctions, are amazing, but they aren't dinosaurs. The real living fossils of the Pacific are stranger than any myth. They're the giant weta of New Zealand insects the size of your fist that evolved to fill the roles of mammals. They are the saltwater crocodiles and sawfish of Australia, genuine prehistoric survivors. They are the 20 new species just discovered in the deep-sea twilight zone, off the coast of Guam, creatures never before seen by human eyes. The truth behind the Dinosaur Island legend is, in many ways, far grander than the myth. There isn't an island that time forgot, but there is an entire submerged superstructure, an Idaho-sized piece of our planet that has been rising and falling for 120 million years. It was born in fire during the age of dinosaurs and is still being shaped by colossal forces today. The ocean isn't hiding a secret population of dinosaurs, it's hiding a secret history of the Earth itself. The legend of the Dinosaur Island speaks to our need to believe in mystery, to imagine that there are still uncharted corners of our world. And in a way, we're right. The dinosaurs may be gone, but the ghost of their lost world is still here. Its mountains and valleys hidden beneath the waves. And that reminds us that sometimes, the geological truth is a far more awesome mystery than any legend we can create.